a really popular leader in the business industry a few decades ago was a man named Stephen Covey, who is well known for his book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And the very first habit is to begin with the end in mind. So think about it. What kind of business do you want to have? And most people would say, profitable, successful, happy customers, happy employees, minimizing problems and emphasizing more solutions. So think about that for a minute. What would that really look like? And, we wish it would be the straight line with no obstacles or hurdles and just nothing but smooth sailing to get right to that goal. And yet the reality is there are often unforeseen pitfalls or problems. And usually it's not a if they're going to happen, but when. So having those plans and structures in place can really prepare you and your team to have some strategy. What are we going to do when we hit a rainy day? What are we going to do when we run into that really difficult client? What are we going to do when we don't know the new software changes or updates, etc., or new laws changing? I'm thinking of FinCEN, right now. What are we going to do, and how are we going to handle all this transition? So training your team and having your team comfortable with the training processes in place is so important. Do you have any thoughts, Sandi?
Well, it's just like, if you decide to go on vacation, you don't just get in the car or go to the airport. You know where you're headed before you get there.
Right.
And, we are big road trippers in my family. So you get in the car and you have we know we're heading to California, for example, see my daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're driving to California. We have no idea about road construction in Oklahoma. So when we get there, we may have to adjust, and that's the case in our work every day, right? We have a plan, but everything doesn't go always to plan.
That's
So
right.
we go with the things that are planned so that we have the energy and the wherewithal to make a change when it's necessary.
Yeah. It's okay to have the occasional side trip or detour, whether it's an obstacle or something fun now has caught your eye, but there's still a structured plan and process in place that's going to simplify the whole process more than if you had no, plan whatsoever. So that was a great analogy. Thanks for sharing.